Alright, we just reserved our seats for the JR train heading to Aomori. We still have another, I'd say 40 minutes, so we're just gonna hang out while we wait for the train.
Delicious.
So, Aomori. This is the first day walking around, and I can already tell it's quite a bit different from Sapporo. Mainly, Sapporo felt a lot newer, and that everything seemed to be more recently built or more recently set up. But Aomori seems like it's a lot more old-fashioned. It kind of feels like we went back in time a little bit. It seems like structurally they're okay with some things looking older. Aside from that, it's definitely not as populated, I think. I haven't looked at the numbers, but it doesn't feel as busy as Sapporo was, which makes sense. We were in central Sapporo. This time around, since we're only spending 5 days in the city, we're staying in a hotel instead of an apartment. And right across the street is a kombini, which is quite convenient. We stopped here multiple times a day for snacks, and at one point, a nice ba-san told me I was great at Japanese right after I horribly butchered a sentence. Thanks, ba-san.
All the bottoms are rusted out.
Whoa.
Don't use soft cream. 美味しいです。
Alright, we gotta talk about my favorite place to eat in Aomori. This is the Aomori Gyozai Center. Here you can get what's called a nokkedon for lunch. The quick gist is, you pay for a cart of tickets for 2,000 yen, and then you can redeem them at the different vendors. So if you want mackerel, you find a vendor that sells mackerel. If you want tamago, you find a vendor with tamago. And they have handwritten signs out that tell you how many of the tickets it costs for one serving. I think it's always just 1 or 2. And there's a few vendors where you can just straight up buy fish with regular yen too, since it's not just a lunch place, it's also a fish market. But yeah, the fish here is so good. I think in total we stopped here to eat like 3 to 4 times and it never disappointed. Following immediately, we stopped by the Nebuta Warase. So Aomori is super well known for its Nebuta Festival, where they parade around with what is essentially a giant lantern slash art sculpture. When you first walk in, you'll find photos and text about the festival's 300-year history. However, aside from the brochure, there wasn't much English throughout the exhibits. It was mostly in Japanese, which ended up being kinda nice actually, since instead of trying to read literally everything, we just got to look around at all the exhibits and completely avoided museum fatigue. And man, look at the detail on these things. As an illustrator myself, I find these super impressive. And you also get to see a display of the inner structure, which looks like it's made of wood, wire, and paper. That's interesting. I like the aftertaste though. The texture's kind of weird at first. A Factory has a lot going for it. It has souvenirs, jams, jellies, donuts, cidery, hamburger steaks, ceramics, stationery. Blech. You just gotta be there. What is it?
It's a little strawberry chiffon cake. It's like $1. It's perfect size. Put it in my bag.
I do think A Factory is one of those places that anyone can enjoy. It's got a nice vibe and tons to look at. Definitely one of the places to stop if you're in the city. Sundays in Aomori, pretty cool. On summer days like this, it's especially nice just hanging out next to the ocean. Just enjoy the cool air and the nice views. Good stuff.